Okay, we're live. Sorry if you jumped on earlier. We had technical issues last time, and I think it was because we weren't connected to her Wi-Fi. Hi, Kathy. And so I had to jump off and connect to her Wi-Fi really quick. So it's 7 o'clock. I'm just gonna wait for some people to join. We have our wine.
Yes.
What are you guys drinking? What are you drinking, Kathy? Anything? Did you call him Archie? No. Dexter. You're drinking water. I was going to guess that that's what you were drinking. We'll see if more people jump on. I know other people said they were going to jump on, but it is a Friday night, and so...
a beautiful Friday night.
Yeah, it's gorgeous out. Like, did it hit 90?
I don't know. I was at the doctor. I wouldn't know.
We should do this outside. Get your patio clean.
I know.
I'm just kidding.
Technically, we could.
We could, but do you know how hard it is for me to set this up when our youngest isn't here?
Yeah. Who knows everything?
She set it up last time. Jared's just hanging at the couch by himself. There's no kids, and Aaron's not here. It might just be you, Kathy. Okay. What time do you have? 7:07. Okay. We should just start. Where is your youngest? Working, right?
Yes.
Working.
Last I checked, yes.
She's working and Michael's at a concert, right?
Yes.
Kid went solo to a concert. That is
Dedication.
That's right. That's not the word I was going to use, but dedication's a good word. And I don't know where. Chanel's probably at home, at her house. What are you doing for Mother's Day?
I'll be at home because Aaron's working a double.
Oh, so you have the house to yourself?
Not until late afternoon.
Oh. Well, that's all right, too. Good for her and him. Okay, well, we're just going to start because I don't blame you for not joining us on a Friday night.
Right.
But we got some feedback and some ideas based on our last episode. And you saw whose Instagram? And so we thought, based on that feedback, that we would talk about when you meet your ex's significant other, meeting the new girlfriend, meeting the ex-wife or ex or whatever, and Tanels, and how you can handle that, how to foster the relationship, what else? How to deal with it with grace. You got eyes probably, if you're watching this, you probably have children involved. If you're wanting to, be friends and cordial, maybe not necessarily friends if you're not there yet. And how you can handle that so that you keep in mind that your kids are always watching. So, I think we touched base very briefly on how
we met.
Yeah, on how we met. Tina wanted to meet for coffee. So we met for coffee.
Yeah.
I really don't remember what we talked about much. The kids.
Surprisingly enough, I think I did most of the talking. Which,
that is surprising.
You were pretty quiet.
I was scared. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's awkward, right? You don't know what to expect.
Right.
And yours and Jarrett's relationship wasn't a hostile breakup. And so it wasn't like we didn't have to worry about that.
No.
Whereas some people do have to worry about
Nor
that.
was there any animosity, you know, as far
Right.
as him dating you or anything. I mean,
Well, how
everything
could
was
there
good.
be?
Yeah, exactly.
Just kidding.
I wasn't one of those crazy females anyway. So.
Right. So, yeah, it came, some people have reached out and shared their stories, and one lady shared with me how, you know, she can commend that we can even talk, because that wouldn't be the situation that she is in, and that even after 4 years, her significant other, I'm assuming husband, but I don't really know, I don't know her, her husband's ex, I'll just say that, refers to her as the nanny. And so that's hard. That would suck. Another one is she was dealing with the first time her ex and her were going to be at one of the kids' extracurricular activities. And her ex showed up with his new fiance, and one of those situations where, although the mom tried to show grace, it wasn't well received by the fiance, and she was ignored. And so, how do you handle that? I mean, that's tough. I mean, for us, I think we went in with well intent.
Yeah.
Right?
Absolutely.
I don't think it's like we met for coffee and then it was like, all right, cool, I know who she is, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
And then we just kind of let it be. Hi, Jim.
Hi, Chan.
And then it was more like we saw each other at like Michael's basketball games and birthday parties and stuff like that.
Or when I come pick up the kids. Or...
Right. And so it wasn't like we were overly friendly at that point. Although you know what? I think I remember sharing some beers with you on the back porch in Vancouver.
Yes, yeah.
I just remembered that. And that was Vancouver. When I say Vancouver, that was like early stages. That was within a year. Yeah. So, so I guess I would just say everybody's situation is different, but if you're putting your best foot forward, even if it's not received by the other side, I would say continue to put the best foot forward. Keep in mind that your children are watching your actions. And so you need to be able to leave whatever you do at the table feeling good about yourself, right?
Yes.
Do you think we could have done anything different? Like to foster it quicker or better or...
Maybe probably more communication at first.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was the hardest thing. And then I think the lack of communication started building some resentment, you know, that
Yes.
not being included or not being filled in as to what was going on, stuff like that. But I felt like I was, you know, living a different life on Graveyard, you know.
Yeah, I would agree. The communication part is key. So making sure that I would say I could have done better communicating, you know, what was going on with kids in school or whatever happened at the house that week, you know, just little, it doesn't even have to be big stuff, but I think even if we would have done like a weekly check-in, that probably would have helped so that the communication was there from the get-go, and so that the kids saw the communication from the get-go. Because when they don't see the communication, it's really easy for them to play sides, and it is really easy to get sucked into that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean,
we obviously had our rough spots, but
yeah, we had rough spots.
We have come through.
Hell and back.
Yes.
I literally.
Yeah.
And I think you'll probably go through waves. You will probably go through waves. I would just say, and the other side may not always be receptive. The other side has to be willing to be a participant in it. And I would just say, if they're not, that you just continue to show kindness and being nice and not talking bad about them where the children can hear, even if you're frustrated, even if you're like, I can't believe whatever, that you make sure that you're mindful of the ears that are around you.
Even if they come to you complaining, don't feed into that.
Right. You can listen to them. You can let them complain, but you don't need to feed into whatever they're feeling. You can be like, I hear you. I understand that can be frustrating or whatever the situation is, but because they're I'm gonna say more often than not unwilling participants at first.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So for us, I think we were really fortunate. I mean, it took us a long while, even just as Jarrett and I were learning to mix two households. I would say it probably took us like 5 years to fully figure it out. I'm gonna guess. Probably about 5 years for us to fully, I would say, what you want to call blend. I don't know. From mom's perspective, I mean, what are you thinking? You've got some other lady all of a sudden involved in your kid's life. Like from your perspective.
Oh,
I mean, I could say from my perspective because I'm a mom too, but
no, that was hard, especially when it's hard to not feel judged for one, because I made the choice to be the one to leave. So it looks like I left the kids, but I was doing it for their own good, because they needed, as if things weren't going to be hard enough, they needed stability. And I was still new what I was doing. I was bouncing around from shift to shift, and then I go down to Salem for 5 weeks, and they needed to come home to the same home. And someone who's working a regular schedule, unlike mine, and know what to expect all the time. So that was hard because I did feel judged quite a bit, and that I was a bad mom for that. And it took me a long time. In fact, I still don't know if I'm over it. But
you don't know if you're over it, if you think you're a bad mom?
Sometimes I feel like it, but I did it for their good.
Well, we all think we're bad moms at some times.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Ignore him. I mean, he's like, I never thought I was a bad mom. Yeah, and it's hard to let somebody else in your kids. I know that. It's hard to let somebody else in your kids' life when you're like, I should be the one doing that. Right. You know what I mean?
Even when it came to like medical appointments and this and that, I'm like, oh my God, this is going to drive me crazy.
I was very happy for you to take over medical appointments.
But, you call to do something, and like, oh, you're not on the ROI, and I'm like...
Oh, but that's...
like with Maggie.
You weren't on the ROI? Are you talking about later, after... Oh, yeah. Well, that's because Oregon has a stupid law that requires, even though our kids were minors, in order to get information involving their medical appointments, even the time... they had to sign a release of information, even though they're minors.
Yeah.
Once they hit 14? Is that the age?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, I think when they hit 14, they have to sign. Stupid law, Oregon. Stupid law.
Because we all know at 14 you can't make those decisions.
Yeah, medical decisions for yourself at 14 without your parents' involvement. But hey, we'll bill the parents.
Yeah, exactly. It's my insurance.
So I don't know. I mean, we could talk more about our story. Is there anything you guys want to know? I mean, we want this to be beneficial to everybody. I don't know. Hi, is it Shani? Sorry, I keep leaning forward because I don't have my glasses on. And I'm looking down here. I should also remember to look up there because we have 2 cameras going and one is for YouTube. And that'll get posted later once I get more familiar with that YouTube platform. I do remember where we left off. We were talking about something last week, and the technology went bad, and so we totally forgot.
I think that's when we were talking about how when we did come together, how bad things were at the time, and that's what took us.
Yes. Yeah, for us, it took a really highly stressful situation involving one of our kids that really forced us to get our act together and to essentially say whatever's happened in the past or whatever hard feelings anybody has, it's done, it's over. Because if we don't get our crap together, something bad could happen. And so that really forced the communication piece. And then it brought on the wine drinking piece. And then it led to the camping piece.
Right.
And which has now led to this piece.
Wine, not only the wine drinking, the wine tasting. We went wine tasting together. You were there for about an hour. At the wine festival.
Oh, I'm like, we went wine. I was thinking like we got on a bus or something and then went to little vineyards. No. I had 2 beers at the wine festival.
Yeah, what the hell?
Yeah, I don't know. It was packed. It was packed with a bunch of people. I don't know. I do know somebody had commented and said what, and I'll share it later on my regular Instagram. But she said, "How do you deal with not killing your ex's wife?" And while I don't want to laugh, because it can be a super frustrating situation, honestly, the serenity prayer. Like, really, you can only control what's going on in your house, and you have no control over the other person or what they're doing. Especially if that other person is not willing to come to the table, isn't willing to make any changes, anything like you can only control what's going on in your home, and you can only set the rules of the expectations that's going on in your home, and that's all you have the control over. I didn't come over to your house and set rules.
No.
But I will say once we started communicating, we did start coming up with similar household rules and similar consequences in the house. So that when they were going back and forth, the same expectations were there, which I think made it a lot easier.
Yeah. And keep in mind, the kids are probably going to resent the going back and forth.
Yes.
Our kids hated it with a passion.
And we throughout the time we changed the amount of so Tanel was with me all the time, except for summertime. She was gone. She'd go, her dad lives in another state, and so in the summertime when school was out, she'd go stay with her dad, and then so we had Tanel all the time, and then Michael and Maggie would go back and forth between our house and her house, and that changed, the amount changed throughout the years, because it started, because you were working graveyard and all that stuff, so it started 2 days a week at your house, right? On your days off.
Yeah.
And then I think when Maggie hit middle school, That time increased to 50-50, right? Was it middle school?
I don't remember.
I think it was middle school. I think at about middle school it went 50-50. And then her last year of high school, it was mostly here because we wanted, it was easier for transportation. Even though we don't live very far apart because of the school bus transportation and the schedule, it was easier and less stressful on Maggie if she only had to get ready at one place and take one bus to go to school versus figuring out how to get on the bus system from our house to get to her school. So we made a decision as a family that, you know what is going to keep Maggie less stressed out is more important. And so the easiest route for her and the less stressful route for her was for her to stay here. And so she would stay here during the school nights, and then we would see her on the weekends. Yeah. So it was Friday. She'd stay with us Friday, Saturday,
Come back
and then come back on Sunday, and she'd stay with her Sunday through. Did we get her Thursdays? I don't remember. The point is that we made a conscious decision to make a decision based on her best needs, not what we wanted. Like not going, oh, that's not fair. She's got, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you can get sucked into that too.
Mm-hmm. Very easily. And
really, it's being conscious of what you're doing. I don't know who you are, but bye. So I don't know. Has it been 30 minutes? Close to. So we're gonna try and keep these 30 minutes, and I know people are busy tonight. So this will get posted. We do want ideas on what to talk about. Otherwise, we're just going to tell you about our stories.
Yeah.
And we'll pick up. I mean, we've only hit Vancouver and then like the tail end. There's like a huge gap in between there. Years. A lot of years that we haven't even talked about yet. Mm-hmm. So, and a lot of hard stuff.
Yeah.
Whoa. That looks good. I'm blind, but I can see when my hair is all wacky. Okay, so, all right, somebody's still on. I'm going to assume it's Kathy. We love you, Kathy.
Yes.
Okay.
And it's probably isn't always going to be the same night when we do it.
That's
Sometimes
fine.
It's just...
Like I said, she doesn't have the normal, she said, normal. She doesn't have the normal 8 to 5 job. No. She works different shifts. So we're doing this based on her schedule mainly. So it probably won't be the same night every week, even though we would like it to be. It's just probably not going to happen. Right, we will try and keep it around the same time.
Yes.
Around 7. We will try and keep it off the weekends because we know Friday nights are dead.
Yeah. When did we do it last week? I thought it was
Thursday.
Oh, was it Thursday? That's right.
It was a Thursday night.
Yeah.
Because we planned on a Saturday, and we were up and live on a Thursday, which is insane. This is only our second episode, you guys. We'll get better as we go. Yeah. We promise. And it's been a long day for both of us.
Yes.
So, with that, should we cheers? Cheers to us. Woo. Jared's over there laughing. Whatever. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Maybe. I don't know who that weirdo was. Oh, I'm still recording up here.